This is the trade review for 21st November, and this is by far the worst day in terms of P&L so far. Let's start with the first trade. I entered Tesla at 9:30, which is calls, and I exited at 9:45. So I took at this breakout because we have the pre-market and we are above the 200 EMA. This was premature, of course, and the option was $430. It's quite expensive considering that I'm taking this on the 5 minutes. So we had this huge drawdown, and of course I suffered a big loss, but I was waiting for it to close, and it actually closed below pre-market and 200 EMA. So actually I should have exited, but I think I was holding because it withdrew all the way below VWAP and bounced back. So if we get a continuation, it will be quite a good move higher, but of course we didn't. So my stop loss implicitly been lowered to below VWAP. That's where I exited after this candle closed below VWAP at 9:45. So I entered at a break, but my stop was actually not very defined. So this was not a very good trade, and the drawdown was negative 44%, and the P&L was negative 193. So I think what I can learn here is if I want to take the breakout, I have to just cut it as quickly as possible. So I think if I just take it at a break back, at a cross back below the, let's say the trend line or pre-market, it will be a bit too early because it will very well just bounce back up. But maybe I can consider, actually it will be the same argument for the 200 or VWAP. So I think I just have to learn and have more practice on just how to cut earlier. And maybe after this candle close, the first 5 minutes, I should have just cut it here because it's below 200 EMA and pre-market and trend line as well. So actually this first candle alone was a confirmation to exit, which I didn't. So this was a very bad trade. I give it a C. So next trade is on Google. I entered at 9:32 and scaled in at 9:51. So I took at the break of pre-market again, and I didn't sell. So over here, I definitely should have sold when I saw some gains. I assume I saw some gains, but I decided to hold, and I scaled in at 9:51, which is on this candle. So after we get this back test of pre-market, I'm not sure where I entered. Maybe I entered at the break of this week high. Again, I didn't take any of it when we had this candle at 9:50. So this is definitely greed over here because I exited for a loss at 10 o'clock. Okay, so Google, the first trade was a loss of $46, 18%, and the second trade was a loss of $49 at 30%. So yeah, this is a very bad trade, and I give it an F because it made high of day and I didn't take it or didn't set my stops. So this is definitely a very bad trade here. Next trade, I took Amazon at 9:43 and exited at 9:45. So I took it on this candle when the previous candle closed below pre-market, and we had a break of low of day. So I took it. It was also weaker than the other tickers we see here because the second candle was below pre-market compared to everything else. So yeah, but the candle closed back above pre-market. So I exited for a small loss at negative $22, and that was negative 14%. So far I'm already down negative 310 from Google, Tesla, and Amazon. So really bad start to the day. But I give this Amazon trade an A because I followed my rules and just took an exit when it closed above pre-market. Okay, so next trade is on Tesla. I took puts at 9:59 and exited at 10:05. So I was anticipating a break of low of day and as well as a follow through from this trend line and opening range. However, we didn't get a continuation, so we didn't even hit the next target, which is pre-market low, which is all I wanted actually. Yeah, but it closed back above, so I had to exit at 10:05, and this was negative $121. So negative 24%. I think maybe I give this trade a B because the entry was okay. Yeah, because it broke low of day, but in terms of the exit, I'm not sure if I entered late. I'm not sure how much this move would have given me, but yeah, I think it was maybe the exit was okay also because I waited for this candle to close. But what is bad is the risk to reward. Yeah, if let's say I'm entering late somewhere here and my target is just here, might not be a very good risk to reward. Yeah, I think it was fine. It's just that Tesla options are expensive, so that didn't really help my account as well. And with this, I'm down negative $431 on the day. Next trade is on QQQ. I entered at 10:01 and exited at 10:22. So these are puts. Because the previous candle closed below VWAP, I assume I took it after a back test and a break of opening range. I think I decided to take it early because we have this. It would have been this 2 candle confirmation below, and I was looking for a follow through move, which we actually didn't have. We got a chop, but I exited at 10:20, which means I managed to sell this move. I don't think I took at a break of low of day over here because this move I'm not sure if it would have given me 14%. Yeah, so it was a 14% trade, $84. I held through this drop because it didn't close above VWAP. Yeah, I mean this candle closed above opening range, but we already backtested VWAP, so I was okay to hold it a bit longer. And yeah, so it gave us one more flash down, and I just took it. So now I'm negative $334 on the day. Next trade is on Tesla. I entered puts at 10.11 and exited at 10.20. So I entered on this candle. So it may be because I took it at the break of low of day, and I'm aiming for a continuation through pre-market, which I guess we did get on this candle. So we have a quick wick down, and I took it. So this was a positive 40% trade and a gain of $155, which brought me negative $192 on the day. Yeah, so just a refresher that I actually took a Tesla trade at 9.59 that I mentioned just now. And I was hoping for this follow through move, which it came later. So for this first trade, I entered here and exited here. This was a negative $121 loss on a $500 option. But over here, I bought back the same option at actually the same price as I exited. So I exited here at 380, but I entered here at 380 as well. Yeah, it was a different option, but it was the same price. So I was lowering my risk here. But in terms of percentage gain, the first one was negative 24%, while the second one was a gain of 40%. So I think it's important to keep the same position size. Yeah, because the first one I took a bigger position size and made me falter my confidence. And the next one I took a lesser one. And actually the gain on the play was bigger. It was 40%. So I think it's important to keep a consistent position size. Yeah, but it's quite hard because for my small account, Tesla is very volatile. So after a few big losses on the day, I would have to reduce my position size here. But I think in the future, this is one example where I can look into keeping the same position size and take advantage of the winning trades. I cannot just keep doing the losing trades, and when the time comes for the winning trades, then I stop taking the trades. Yeah, I think that's the lesson to be had here. But the first few trades was like 5 losses, so I think the confidence was really low and I had to reduce position size here. Okay, so the last trade is on SPY. I entered at 10.17 and exited at 10.25. And it was a loss of negative 23%. I believe I took it at a break of low of day, hoping for a test of this trend line. Yeah, and I exited at 10.25 for a loss. So I think I took it pretty late. I did exit after this candle. Yeah, I guess I'll give this a B. Yep, I took it at a break of low of day, and the next candle, wick below, but I didn't set any stops or take it fast enough. Perhaps I got a very bad entry, but it closed above VWAP and I exited here. So this was a negative 20% loss. So in terms of the setup, if I'm aiming just the trend line, it might not have been a very good risk to reward. You see, when the distance between my entry and the trend line versus VWAP is almost 1:1 or even worse. So I think I give this a B in terms of the risk to reward, but in terms of execution, I think it was fine. I waited for a low of day and exited when it closed above VWAP. So total was a negative $304 on the day.